afternoon, Floss Tube. It's Lisa here from the Shady Tree Stitches, and welcome back to what's going to be my last Floss Tube before my first ever Mania. To say I'm excited is an understatement. I am really looking forward to Mania. I have been for months. I've been holding off on starting as much as possible just so I can start it in May. Is that crazy or what? To all the new subscribers, welcome. Hope you like listening to me prattle on and sharing time with you and my friends when they're here. And to all my regular subscribers, thank you so much for coming back. I do really appreciate it. I get a kick out of seeing the fact that other people want to share my stitching with them. I've been enjoying watching lots and lots of different floss tubers. I won't name any this video because I will forget who they are. I need to sit down and write a list, but I've had a bit of a crazy time, end of school holidays. I've just been to Sydney and back for a wonderful trip. We went and saw Saturday Night Fever, which was a live show, my husband and I, so we had a bit of kid-free time, which was awesome. And I'm just, as usual, trying to jump in and make my video while there's no kids around before they get back from the park. So I'm going to get straight into it. And first of all, I would like to say that since last week, I have another finish. So I have finished Home of the Quilter by Told in the Garden. Really like this one. I love the Told in the Garden patterns. I do have a couple more in my stash, but if anyone knows where I can find more, I'd be interested. So this one fulfilled some extra stitches that I was working on for year-long credit for School of Magical Stitching because I like doing homework. I'm such a teacher. So I have finished that. So really excited. So now I have that pattern ready to give away to someone else who would like to stitch this beautiful piece. So really happy with how that went. I think I used it for the 7th floors in Malfoy Manor because there's 3 different floors. Anyway, I used it for something. I don't generally just stitch for nothing anymore. I tend to stitch to fit some homework, either from the multitude of events on the Semi-Sane Stitches site, of which another one's just finished, Win with the Admin. That was a bit challenging, didn't fit in as much with my stitching, tended to just take up my time. But I am working for the Stitches games, and I also am obviously doing School of Magical Stitches and Literature. Semi-Sane is starting a new thing next week as well, which is a bit like Wheel of Fortune or something. So I'm going to try and do that because I've got my Mania plans of doing different things each day, so that should give me a good bit of guidance, I think. So because I finished that, it's no longer a whip, therefore it's off the chart for Mania. So as I alluded to in my Mania video, I have a fallback plan, the Chinese Garden Mandala from Chatelaine. I know that's a crazy start for Mania, but why not be crazy? I want to start it. And I already showed you that I had the fabric, but in the mail this week from ECC, I got the bead pack. Look how many different beads are in it. And everyone recommends that if you're doing a chatelaine, get the bead pack, at least from these people, because you can see they make it all up in separate vials or labelled. So there's lots of beads there, much easier than me sourcing them. And I have chosen to go with mostly DMC, but I do have some other threads. So this is most of the DMC colours that will be required. Done up for me by JK Stitching, but I did keep my water lilies. And also the treasure braid, which there's like heaps of them. So that is all the things I've got for my chatelaine, plus the fabric which I showed you last time. That's not out of its bag, but it's this beautiful sort of cloudy pattern. Really looking forward to seeing what it looks like stitched up on that. And that will be all ready to go. Okay, so for Mania, I will be doing a vlog style video, a la Sammy J style, or Christine from Stitch All the Things. So I'm going to try and video every day on my progress, so and then post at the end of the week. So you'll still see me weekly, but I will be trying to film daily if possible. Okay, so I also then have been doing a little bit of shopping, not too much. I was really excited. I went to the post office the other day and there was a box and I went, oh, what have I ordered? What's come? And it was something for my daughter, which is really exciting because she doesn't usually get anything, but it was just an Easter egg for her. So I went through and got a whole bunch of more floss, PMC, to finish kitting out my mania plans. I had a helper, so my niece was over for a week of the holidays, and she very nicely sat down and helped me organise my floss into my new floss storage system, which is carabiner clips. So I have all my little snack size sandwich bags from Aldi, really good. They're Ziploc bags, they've got room to put the number on them. So all my 500s are here on this one carabiner. I have a carabiner for each number. Here's another one, bigger bundle. They fit a lot. This is my 900s, so then I just have them in a bag, labelled the numbers, and then as I need one, I just grab the bag I need, grab the bit of the floss I need. I have cut off a bit of floss. See, I never used to call it floss. You guys are changing my language. I cut off the thread, which is what I used to say, and I put that onto cards that I made for each whip, and then if I need more, I'll just come back to the bags. So I did that. I also have been thinking about my eyesight with beading. I've got lots of beads to do for the chatelaine. So I went looking for just the good old-fashioned beading assistant. But I bought that, obviously. But then I found this one. Isn't this so cute? It's a little ladybug. And watch out, I'm about to shine bright light at you. As I turn it on, look. So you can see it's got a little clicker and a light. So a bit extravagant, but I bought it. That was so cute. I was at Lincraft, which is a shop I don't have close by, and they have these vials of beads. So I got myself just 3 more colours to add to my collection of little beads, which was good to have. And I also got another quick order from Sew It All of some just even weave to finish kitting up one of my patterns. And then I actually started making needle minders. So I was on the hunt for the best glue to use. Anyway, I ended up using a sort of an epoxy mixture called Loctite, which worked pretty well. And so these are just for me at this stage, but I have a cute little bee. I have a little putty cat. Trying to get him to that, zooms in on him. I bought a packet of wooden buttons. That's a little mandala style wooden button. Little cute flower. I'll zoom in on them. They snap on really, really, really well. Little shiny, sparkly love hearts. They bite me. And then I found this little wooden pattern of things that are little seaside things. So we have a little ship. We have a dolphin. Oops. A wooden packet of butterflies, which are really cute. That's another heart, you don't need to see that one. There's another one of the cute little wooden buttons. And really cute froggy. And the reason I made my own is that they're so expensive here in Australia, and there's not a lot of people I found who make them. So maybe down the track I might make some to sell, but at the moment they're just for me. So I made myself a whole bunch of needle minders, so now I have a needle minder per project, which is what I wanted to do. I also got my sewing machine out, was ready to zigzag around the edges of the material, and it only did a straight stitch, so I don't know what's wrong with it, so I'm going to have to find a way to get it fixed or get a new sewing machine. So needless to say, I'm just going to continue stitching with fraying edges for now, because I don't want to use any masking tape like I used to do in the 80s, or any glue or anything like that. So I need to dig out my overlocker, that's what I need to do. Alright, so I also was fortunate enough to have a visit from Jen. Well, I visited Jen, and she'd been chatting to another one of the Shady Tree Stitchers who you haven't met yet, Liz. And Liz was going through her stash and getting some Stitchy Kindness organised, and Jen saw these ones. So those are not one of the Angel's Prayer, and also Victorian Embroiderer. And she knew that I had managed to snaffle a lot of these from previous Stitchy Kindness from Louise. So Jen very nicely snaffled these two for me instantly, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of what Business Stitchy Kindness is going to be when we get together at next retreat. So 2 more to add to my collection. All right, now Jen and I also, we went to the Sydney Royal Easter Show, and we said we were going to do this in our combined video. And we used to enter in the exhibition, and Liz, who I just mentioned, did enter, and she won a first and I think a second place. And so when we were there, I took a couple of photos, which I will insert here. These photos show you a couple of different exhibits that were available. It's made up of people from all over Sydney and surrounds. I actually thought it was a bit small. They need some more exhibitors. So Jen and I are definitely going to enter next year in many different categories. So that was our visit to the Easter Show and to the Needlework exhibition. So because I knew this was going to be a pretty short video today, I'm just going to quickly run through my whips. I've been focusing on only a few again because I was just waiting for Mania where things will change. So of course, homework driven. Right, the first one's actually the last one, but I've been working on my painted houses. And in particular, I've done all this bordering around here. That wasn't there before because I have to do 1,000 stitches for Stitcher Games in grey or brown. So I'm doing grey. I'm not up to my 1,000 stitches yet, but I will get there in a not too distant future. I also, for my School of Magical Stitches homework, had to start a new project. And it's a bit scary that I've had to start a new project. I think I might have told you about it last time. So this is the project Moggies by Juniper Designs. And Sue, Louise and I are all doing a stitch along on these houses, but we're all doing different ones. And that's where I'm up to so far. I had to do 300 stitches on a tree, vine or shrubs or green. So all that greenery is 300 stitches. And I had to do 300 stitches on a building. So I did more than that. I also used this one for 500 stitches on a a stitch and binge, 500 on a whip that bugs or drives me insane. Because I hate this 18 count Aida. I really, really, really don't like it. But since the whole set comes with that count Aida, I'm just doing it. And therefore it also, for the whim of the admin, fitted in for 100 stitches on something that I hate because I really, 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 really don't enjoy doing it. So lots of stitches there to fulfill those various homeworks. I do love that I can double up. Also, I've done a lot of work on my We Are Humans After All Sal. So I finished the cavemen and started the Egyptians. He looks a bit like a ghost at the moment. Look at that. When I feel his skin, he'll be fine. But I didn't need the stitches, and so I had to move on to something else. So this one, I had to work on for Stitch and Binge, I had to work on a whip that had a vehicle. So even though there's no vehicles actually there, further on in the picture, there's a whole bunch of ships and boats. So I could work on that one. And I'm really happy with how I've gone for that. I've also used that as 1,000 stitches for extra year-long project for the magical stitches. So I'm actually used it for one of the Quidditch players ones. Now I don't know if this one's a bit extreme, but see this dude here. See his lovely little club? That reminds me of a beater. What a beater would use to hit their bludger, the ball, in a Quidditch game. So I'm thinking that this was a prehistoric Quidditch player and he was a beater, even though he's a bit of an ape. So yes, I'm going to try and use that for 1,000 stitches for year long. There's 3 different Quidditch players and I do nothing sporty, so I have to be as creative as possible. And the last one that I've been working on, which I will show you the finished picture of. Second, I'll keep digging it out. So the Snow Angel by Brooks Books. Now my Snow Angel I actually used for a whip that scares me for Stitch and Binge, because I did all this bit on the bottom and all those different blended and tweeted colours using metallic threads. Is it going to let me zoom in on it? Sorry, it's a bit out of focus. So she's just beautiful. She's coming along nicely. But I did a whole bunch of the blues down near the bottom. I tend to like doing filling and painting. So I did that one as well. So that was they're my whips, my current whips. And I've still got obviously the Fairy Tale Sal and the Love Story Sal, which has got no love yet, but that's okay. It's still not overdue yet. It was only released on the 14th, so I'm not even halfway through the month yet, so I'm not too behind on it. And it's going to come up in Mania, so it'll be fine. So yeah, another finish. Get my whips down, and so that gives me a total of what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 whips. I'm starting Mania with 6 whips, so that means I'm going to be doing 25 new starts. Scary, but exciting. Alright, and because I knew this was going to be a pretty short video today because I didn't have a lot to say, I thought I'd do one of the Get to Know Your Needleworker tags. And I've decided on the stitching style tag. So, my favourite fabric is a Lagana or an even weave. I like to use a Q-snap, but I have used frames, scroll frames in the past, and I would like to use a stand to hold my frame, but currently I can't set it up, so I just hold it. My favourite time to stitch is any time, but when do I actually stitch? Once the kids have gone to bed, about 8 o'clock at night, I generally can get about 2 hours in between 8 and 10 p.m. on a normal night. I was using digital charts, but since I've started watching Floss Tubes or chatting on Virtual Stitches, I use my iPad to do that. So I've started printing off paper copies because I can't use my iPad both simultaneously. I most definitely am a floss licker. I definitely hoard supplies. My favourite floss, I guess DMC. I don't have anything I like better. I haven't used a lot of different ones. Right, I'm not a serial starter yet. That might change in a few days in May, but for the moment, I was always probably a 2-whip person. I had one small travel project and one big project on the go, but since finding Floss Tube, I'm now got, as I said, 6 whips, and I'm loving the variety. I have far more FFOs than UFOs. Most of my projects are framed and finished. I only have the ones I've done this year that aren't fully finished yet. Do I watch TV? Yes, I watch Floss Tube. Do I mostly stitch alone? Mostly, but I do get together with friends as much as possible to stitch. Do I experiment and alter things with my charts or stitch them as written? I tend to follow the rules. I am of the opinion that the designer knew what they wanted. So I try to follow what the designer wants as much as possible, but on saying that, I did do a whole bunch of substitutions earlier in the year when I was starting out. I used to bobbinate, drove me nuts, so now I floss bag. I generally start my project in the middle of the fabric. I do have a whip rotation, and it is rotated as per homework requirements. Not me. I don't have a timekeeper, so I don't know how long it takes me to complete a project, but since I've been allocating my stitching time every day this year, which was my New Year's resolution to stitch every day, and so far I have done so, I'm pretty sure. It might have been one day I didn't. But I am doing counting now, so I know how many stitches I'm doing. I have never tried the parking technique. I can't see I'd like it, but I might give it a try for my chatelaine. We shall see. Do I keep my orts? No. And do I have a snack or drink while stitching? I definitely have a drink. I drink Diet Coke or water, mostly Diet Coke at the moment. and I would like to have a snack, but I don't like to get up and wash my hands, and I don't eat. I'm one of those believers you don't eat and stitch. So the only snack I have is like M&Ms or something like that. That's not going to leave anything on my fingers. So there you go. That is my stitching style tag. Hopefully some of you are similar. I would like to know whether or not you have any particular snack or a drink that you do when you're stitching. So if you'd like to share, please comment below. And the comment I like the most may receive a special something. Who knows what I'll feel like next time I do a normal video. So as I said, the next few weeks will be just my mania vlogs, and then I'll be back to regular FlossTube at the end of the month, unless I have some reason to make another one in the meantime. I'm back to school tomorrow. It's very sad, so back to full-time work. So life will get crazy again. But I'll have my stitching to help keep me sane. So keep on stitching, keep on enjoying life, and I'll look forward to chatting you later. Bye.